but a more cautious approach today. Trying to see off Sushan Bari, the spinner. Calls for a quick single there. Oh, bit sloppy, the Nepalese fielder there. You can just see Singapore have started to slow down a bit from the initial stages, and Chandramohan was out in the middle. But just the last 2 overs, they've seemed to, Nepal have pulled it back, and that wicket certainly does help.
And you can expect that. Field is spread now. That buzz of the first 6 overs is gone. This is a period where the team wants to ensure that they can build partnerships, get through this period with a minimum of loss of wickets, and come in at the end of the innings and make sure that they capitalize and get themselves to a good score.
Partnership is key over here, as Timothy David takes strike. Oh, steps out, big, how big? It's out of here. It's huge. .64 for 2 after 9 overs.
Oh, steps out, big, how big? It's out of here.
.64 for 2 after 9 overs.
Bowling change here. Kushal Malla comes into the attack. Another spinner. We didn't see them in the initial stages, and now they're coming quite quickly. Huge 6 from Timothy Head, just to finish off that over. Just as we were talking about them slowing down, the captain steps up, smashes it out of the stadium.
Spin the way to go on the surface. You saw it last night after the seamers came on early. Got a bit of a way shape. Definitely some purchase for the spinners on the surface. It's well fielded by the captain, Paras Khadkar, at extra cover.
Manpreet Singh wanted the single there, but his captain was quick to send him back. 1 from 4.
Just over the man. He'll tell you that I did that on purpose and made sure that I plonked it over his head and got the single.
Initially thought it went straight back to him there for a minute. Really wanted to just get a move on, but he can breathe easier now. He's at the non-striker's end as the captain takes strike. 19 from 15. Looked good. Looked very good. Calm, composed, controlled. Really building an innings here. He'll want Manpreet Singh to just stay there with him. Goes again. Has he got it? It's out of here again. Timothy Head.
This is good batting from Tim David. He would have played a lot of cricket here and realizes that these straight boundaries he can take advantage of. And this time again, a little bit of air and comes down the wicket.
Again.
Gets to the pitch of it and gives it a good heave-ho well over the bowler's head.
Timothy Head.
And with both the sixes, we've seen that he's not afraid to step down the track. Really likes to express himself. 25 from 16. Timothy David really building his innings now. As Kushal Malla comes back in. Where's the captain goes? Just a single.
Moved along to 26 from 17. Starting to look dangerous, Timothy David. Cut away will just be the single. 73. The ball to go to the halfway stage. Singapore will be pretty happy with the proceedings so far.
Dealing in singles is Manpreet Singh, as Timothy David does the majority of the work out here. Steps out again. Only be a single up. The misfield will send it back. End of the 10th over, 74 for 2 Singapore.
It's the halfway stage of the first innings of Game 2 in the Singapore Tri-Nations, powered by Instagram. Singapore have moved happily along to 74 for 2, and we're going to have a change in voice in the commentary box. It's going to be Navneet Krishna, and he's going to be joined by a special guest this evening, Sean Williams.
Thank you, Dino. Thank you, Adrian. Match right in the balance, you'd probably have to say, at the halfway mark. Singapore 74 for 2. Lucky enough to be in the commentary box with the captain of the Zimbabwean team, Sean Williams, and he has a bright smile on his face. No surprise, obviously. Good performance by Zimbabwe yesterday.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for having me in the commentary box. Thank you for having me in here. Yeah, it's exciting to be in Singapore and nice to come and watch a live game here tonight.
For a second, I was assuming that you and the rest of the team will probably be enjoying the sights of Singapore and be out and about, but you chose to be here. What's the game, Sean?
Yeah, obviously I haven't played on this wicket before, so other than last night. So I thought I'd come out and see how the Singapore boys play out here. Obviously, it being short boundaries, I'd like to see how they go about their batting and obviously their bowling as well. Obviously, last night the ball was spinning a lot, so Ryan Bill and Mutambami got us out of quite a bit of trouble last night, and we'd like to avoid those issues again in tomorrow's match against Singapore.
Very interesting, a couple of points that you alluded to here. We'll start with the spin aspect that you spoke about. There is plenty of spin on offer on this pitch, but having said that, there are a few spinners where it hasn't done much as well.
Yes, definitely. Obviously, you've got to put something on it to be able to get something out of it on this type of wicket. It's a type of wicket that you've got to go bowl back of a length pretty quick and really give it a good rip. So just to be able to get something out of the wicket. If you're going to just put it up there, obviously the batsmen are going to take you on the straight boundaries. So in order to get them to hit you where you want them to hit the ball, obviously square of the wicket is where you want them to hit it. So that's obviously going to be the plans. And if you look at Sandeep, the way he's bowling quite quick into the wicket and back of a length, and the guys have struggled to face him. So, we're going to have to make a plan to find a way how to play that type of bowling.
And you were pretty economical yourself, Sean. You bowled your quota of 4 overs. You managed to get a couple of wickets as well. So you must be happy bowling on this pitch.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, when you get an opportunity to bowl on a wicket like this, you've got to take full advantage of it. Obviously, accuracy is a big thing in T20 cricket, and that's something that our bowlers are learning at the moment. And like Wellington Mazakadze, as soon as he starts to spin the ball, I think he's going to be a very dangerous bowler. And then you've got young Tino Mutambodzi as well. I think he's a very exciting talent for Zimbabwe cricket. Obviously, he didn't go too well with the bat last night, but I feel he's got a lot to offer, and he has leadership qualities as well.
And it's interesting you bring that up, Sean. You're obviously captaining the Zimbabwean team right after Hamilton Mazakadze. Talk to us about that final game in Bangladesh against Afghanistan. That must have been quite a farewell for the captain.
Yeah, it was a goosebump moment, wasn't it? It was a goosebump moment for all of us, and a sad moment for all of us, as obviously we've grown up with him, throughout our entire careers. Obviously, guys like Tino, myself, Brendan, we've played with him for a very long time, and to see him go now, obviously there's a big gap in the team that he's left behind. Someone's got to come in and fill some big boots there. So good luck to whoever's going to come in there and take that opportunity, and hopefully someone raises their hand very soon and does that job. Obviously, we've got Regis in there now. We've got an exciting young player in Brian Churry as well, attacking, not scared of anything. So, it's obviously it's time to move forward now. Hamilton has given a lot to Zimbabwe cricket, and I'm sure he'll continue to do so.
And you're enjoying your role as captain of Zimbabwe?
I'm loving it. It's really exciting. Yeah. Obviously, I've got a lot to learn still. Not having Brendan or Craig or any of those experienced players around, I'm a little bit on my own. But I've been around for a while, so I've got the coaches. We have our plans, and we stick to our plans and follow them. And yeah, it's exciting, and I'm loving it.
Very quickly, back to the live action here. It's Sandeep Lamchani into his third over from the far end, and he does what he does so often, beat the outside edge. Quite a sensation has been in the recent past, Sandeep Lamchani. Been playing T20 cricket all across the world, some of the biggest leagues, and he continues to bamboozle the batsmen all over. Manpreet Singh looking for the sweep down the leg side. Had to reach out for that. And we saw most of the batsmen resorting to the sweep shot yesterday as well, because bowlers are preferring to bowl